Hello everyone, I am Likita. Today we are going to learn how plants control and coordinate their action even though they don't have a brain or nerves like us, but still they can sense things like light, touch, water, gravity. Let's explore how plants respond to their surrounding using special chemical called plant hormone. So let's start. In today's session, we will going to discuss response to stimulus in plants, hormones of plants, tropic and nastic movements. So let's start. Begin with what is a stimulus? So a stimulus is any kind of external change upon animals react, right? So as we studied in last class, about stimulus. A stimulus is anything in the environment. So basically, starting from stimulus, yeah, stimulus is anything in the environment that a plant can respond to. That a plant can respond to. It's all about the plants. So like response to words like light from the sun, touch, so it's for light, gravity, touch, and chemicals. Okay, the reaction of the plant to a stimulus is called the response. So basically when plant react towards light, gravity, touch, chemical. This is called plant response. These response help plants survive, grow, and reproduce. And the response occur through growth or movement in specific direction. Okay. So stimulus is any change in the environment such as light, water, touch, gravity upon which plant reacts. So response is a reaction of a plant, how plant reacts. So some plant by bending toward light, no nervous system like us. We have a proper nervous system called central nervous system consists of brain, consists of the spinal cord, right? So we have a proper organ and system of chemicals which maintain control and coordination in animals, but in plants, what is happening? In the case of the plant have their own system called plant hormonal system. So plant hormone basically the chemical messenger. Yes, we already know what are the hormones. So we have already discussed this in the previous classes. Those who have not seen it, please watch the previous lecture. Coming on topic hormone. So I remind you, hormone it's a chemical messenger. It carries some message in the form of chemical from one portion to another portion, or we can say towards the target organ. So plants use hormone to communicate. So one part of the plant communicate with the other part of the plant, and these communication established by set of chemicals that is called hormones. So plant use hormone to communicate and coordinate their action. These are the natural chemical basically made in one part of plant and carried to another part to cause a response. Come on, let's type. So plant hormone also called phytohormone. Phyto, the word phyto for plants and hormone for chemicals. Basically the chemicals generated in a plant, that is plant hormone, or more scientifically it's a phytohormone. So let's discuss the type auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic and ethylene. So first one is auxin. Auxin helps in growth. Basically, a plant bend towards window to get more sunlight. So auxin promotes cell elongation. Overall, it's help in the growth of a plant, growth of stem, bending of stem, help in phototropism. What does it mean? Phototropism. So when a plant bends towards the light direction. Right. This is called phototropism. Photo, it means light. Tropism, it means movement. Basically, movement of a plant stem towards light. Come on the gibberellin. Gibberellin help in basically seed germination and stem elongation. So, gibberellin help in seed growth or germination. Plus, second on stem elongation. Stimulates stem elongation and seed germination. Basically, seed sprouting faster in warm and moist soil. Why? Because gibberellin is activated. Come on the other hormone, cytokinin. Cytokinin helps in cell division. So cytophore cell kinin means movement. So it promotes cell division, cell growth, delay aging in leaves. So it delay the senescence phase in plant. So bushier the plant with more leaves. It make more bushy a plant. Next one is abscisic acid. Abscisic acid stops. So it's for stop or inhibiting growth, closes stomata during stress condition. So stop growth in harsh condition and help in closing the stomata. Right. So basically a plant stop growing during drought. Drought is a stress condition, lacking of water. Come on the ethylene. Ethylene is very famous. It's a fruit ripening hormone, right? And leaf fall. It do leaf falling. Yes, banana turning yellow. Why? Because ethylene is produced by the fruit that cause fruit and ripening of the fruit. Let's move and memorize hormone and its function. First one, auxin, we just discussed promote cell elongation, especially in the shoots, involve phototropism, gravitropism. We will look the term phototropism, gravitropism in depth. Stimulates root growth in low concentration. So basically phototropism, movement of plant part towards light. Gravity tropism, movement of plant part towards gravity, along gravity. So roots grow along the direction of the gravity. This is gravitropism. Come on the gibberellin. Gibberellin stimulates stem elongation, promotes seed germination. It breaks dormancy. What is dormancy? Dormancy is the inactive stage of seed. Right? We store seed in a packet. So the seed under the stage of dormant, it means inactivity of the gibberellin hormone. Cytokinin. Cytokinin promotes cell division, growth, delays senescence, aging in the leaf, stimulates shoot formation and tissue culture. Cytokinin is used in tissue culture. What is tissue culture? So, culturing of a tissue by using some healthy cells. So, if it's a plant, I take some plant cells and I grow in a culture plate by the help of some cytokinin and other plant hormone and with nutritive medium, and it's become a tissue. That is called a tissue culture technique. Come on the abscisic acid, it's inhibit the function, inhibit the growth, act as a growth suppressant, closes stomata during the stress zone, right? Maintain seed dormancy. So it's helpful to maintain the seed dormancy. Ethylene. It's promote fruit ripening, stimulate leaf abscission, affects flower opening and aging. Look, plant hormone, how it's works. So gibberellin, as you see, it's the seeds start grow, seeds start germinate, stimulates breakdown of stored food to facilitate germination, sprouting of a leaf. Come on, auxin, auxin help. Auxin found at shoot tip. So it's help in cell growth, cell elongation, promote cell growth division, growth of terminal bud, fruit formation, etc. Come on the cytokinin. Cytokinin, the division of the cell. It's help in cell growth, cell division, cell differentiation. So some parts make fruit, some parts make flower. This is called differentiation. Abscisic acid, stay inactive. Dormancy of embryo, drooping of ripened fruit, leaves, etc. Ethylene, ripening. Ethylene help in ripening of the fruit and leaf. Excess amount of ethylene cause dropping of leaf and fruit. Yes. So how it's work? Coordination in plant include movement in plant. Yes. Plant do not locomotion. Yes. So come on, tropic movement, movement dependent on growth, directional movement in response of stimulus. So tropic movement is basically movement dependent on growth, whereas directional movement depend on stimulus. That these all are distributed into four parts. Phototropism. So how plant react toward responses, stimulus, right? So phototropism, movement towards light. Geotropism, movements toward gravity. Chemotropism, movement toward a chemical growth of pollen tube. Ovule, it's O. Hydrotropism, movement towards water. So basically plants show two main type of movement. So these are tropic movements. So first, let's discuss tropic movement, which is also called directional responses. So tropic movement are directional based. These are slow. The proper mechanism, these are the slow movements, permanent. Slow but permanent movements towards or away from stimulus. So it's maybe both towards and away from a stimulus. Let's define it movement of plant part in response to stimulus direction. Its type first one is phototropism towards light, bending of plant part towards light, that is positive, but away from light, that is negative. So let's take an example. Stem bent toward light, it show positive phototropism. Whereas come on, geotropism. So geotropism basically for gravity, roots grow downward into soil. So roots grow downward, that is positive geotropism. But shoot grow upward against the gravity, that is negative geotropism, against the gravity. Come on, hydrotropism, roots grow towards water. So it's for water basically. Thigmotropism for touch. For thigmo, it is basically for touch. Climbers like money plant coil around support. So response to touch, such as tendrils, climbers, etc. So basically, overall, positive tropism movement towards stimulus. So for positive, it is movement toward stimulus. Whereas for negative, it's movement away from stimulus. Right. Come on the second type of plant movement, that is nastic movement. It means non-directional responses. So these are the quick responses, but the previous one is slow responses. The previous one is tropic movement, right? So nastic movements are quick responses, not dependent on direction of the stimulus. So it's a not dependent on direction. So we say non-directional responses. Let's define movement not dependent on direction of stimulus. Example is thigmonasty, touch base, such as mimosa pudica folding. So if I touch me not plant, that scientific name of touch me not plant, that is mimosa pudica, shrinks, plant folds. So plant touch me not plant folds its leaf when touched. Come on, photonasty, light cause petals to open and close. So basically flowers like sunflower open during the daytime. Nictisnesty response to day-night cycle like sleep, movement. That is nictinasty movements. Look the figure how Mimosa pudica they fold their leaves while we touch. This is sensation for the touch. So tendrils basically coil around its supporting medium. Photonasty for day and night. Look the example moonflower, Saminia salmon, Nectinasty, clover leaves begin to droop in the evening, whereas clover leaves grow horizontal during the day. So basically, it is sleep cycle. Thermonasty, thermo for temperature. Right. So cooling down as temperature drop, the outer surface of petals grow rapidly, causing petals to bow inward. But in the summer, warming up, rising temperature cause rapid growth of inner surface of petals, bowing them outward. Chemonasty, other term. Chemonasty is a response towards chemical fringed hair of blade trapped fly. Let's memorize it. Thigmonasty stimulus for touch, nature of movement, rapid movement due to touch. Example, mimosa pudica. Photonasty for light, opening, closing in response to light. Petals of dandelion opening during the daytime. Nictinasty, darkness, night, movement in response, day-night cycle. Oxalis, legume leaf folding at night. Come on, thermonasty for temperature, movement due to temperature change, tulip flower opening in the warm and close during the winter. Chemonasty, chemical stimulus, so movement triggered by chemical such as sundew curling leaves around prey. Hydronasty for water and humidity, movement caused by change in moisture, some flower open in high humidity. So let's differentiate it. Tropic movement depends on stimulus, growth movement, phototropism, geotropism. Nastic movement independent of stimulus, but turgid movement, thigmonasty, nyctinasty, plant hormone and their interaction. So, interaction between a plant hormone. Let's take a real life example. A farmer spray Auxin on a field to help the crow talk. So, farmer spray what? A plant hormone, that is Auxin, on a field to help crop grow well. So we want to farmer want to crop grow much and more yield. But if the weather gets too dry, so weather become too dry, the plant release abscisic acid. Now, phytohormone, basically abscisic acid, is released which stop the growth and save water. Yes, for dry condition. So one hormone promote growth and the other stop during stress. That is ABA, abscisic acid. These balance help the plant survive and grow properly. So hormone often interact to regulate growth. Auxin, gibberellin work together for stem elongation. Abscisic act as a brake to stop the growth, slow down the growth processes, slowing down growth during drought and stress condition. Real life examples like sunflower bending towards light, that is phototropism. Roots growing into the soil, that is positive geotropism. Mimosa pudica, when we touch it, it's like folding itself. Ripened fruit dropping due to ethylene hormone. Let's take a quiz. What hormone help fruit ripening? Ethylene, just learn. Which movement depend on direction of stimulus? So directional movement called the, guess what we call, is it maybe nastic or maybe a like plant movement? Which one think it? It's nastic or tropic. Which one is directional? So it's tropic. Give an example of thigmotropism, mimosa pudica. Touch me not plant. Name a plant that show thigmo nasty. So thigmo, it's for tropism. It's for nasty. Again, the mimosa pudica. Which hormone close stomata during drought condition? Which one called stress hormone? Abscisic one. Let's check. So ethylene tropic movement tendril for the thigmo, yeah, for the thigmotropism, thigmonasty mimosa pudica, abscisic acid. This is it for today. We will meet in next class with next topic. Take care. See you.